Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Bacon here with Big B. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Just pulling into work here, so ready to talk some week 4 action. I wish I was kind of home, kind of catching that little ESPN animated game today. Kind of cool concept, but I don't know if I can sit through a whole game of that. So I believe the Jags are still up, so that's good for people that are Jags fans.
I think it is, and we also have the Prime Goose. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I caught a little bit of that first half of that Jaguars game, and when I caught it, it was 10-0. Next thing I know, Desmond Ritter had a good drive going, and then next thing you know, he found his inner Brett Favre and threw 2 picks in back-to-back passes. I thought that was pretty apropos that a Falcons quarterback can do that. But other than that, I'm excited about today. My team is 2-1 in a division where we shouldn't be 2-1.
Yeah, one of those passes was caught to himself.
Brett's first one was to himself, and I think
Right, but I was talking Ritter's.
I think Ritter's was to himself too. I think one of his. Yeah, But see, Brett's first touchdown pass was to himself.
Oh, okay. Big B, you said you had your one tough question.
Yeah, so guys, I'm going to pick on the 0-3 teams today. But so I'm going to announce us all owners of 0-3 teams and give our perspective on what we would do. So we're 0-3 going into week 4. We all know that if we drop week 4, the season's pretty much over. I mean, granted, there's still a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but how would you prepare for, week 4, and then after week 4, if you do drop it, do you start making phone calls as the owner / GM to other teams, get their feel on certain players, or do you wait for them to call? So I'll start with Tim.
We've got 4 teams right now that are 0-3, and it's funny, 2 of them face each other today.
Yep.
I hate to say it, one of those 0-3 teams is your team.
Yep.
You have to do something. You have to do something to light a fire. I think you have to do something. If you go 0-4, you're at this basically. Me being a Colts fan, I've been in this position more than I care to be in sometimes. And I don't know, I coined the fame for so long was suck for luck. You have to do something, but at this point, if you go 0-4, I think you start going after collateral. I think you go after things that'll help you move forward. Blow it up at this point. Keep what you can keep your big name players. If you got players that are willing to stay around for a rebuild, then let them rebuild. You're at 0-4. Let the rookies start playing. Let the rookies get some game experience and see what you've got with what you've drafted in the last 2-3 years. Outside of that, you don't give up. You still don't give up, even if you're one of those 4 teams. And it's funny that you brought up the one tough question being the 0-3 team. My prime 5 is about 0-3 teams too. So I thought it was kind of interesting.
So in your aspect, you're the owner. Do you start making those phone calls if you drop 0-4, or do you let the other teams reach out to you?
No, let them come. Let them come to me.
Chris?
Yeah, I would let them call first. But at the same time too, regarding my own team, I'd just throw everything, at the wall and see what sticks. Try different pieces, put in my quarterback, kind of reevaluate everything. If the players are doing good and they're being productive, but we're still losing, maybe keep them out. But if they're not, I'd put in whoever I had, whether it's a rookie, second year player, veteran player. I'll just try everything and see what happens. Because at this point,
Yeah.
you have
Oh,
nothing to
go ahead.
lose.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, if we go 0-4, then we start talking, throwing things to the wall, trying this guy out, you know, if teams are reaching out to you for your veteran players that, have one or two left on their deal, yeah, you gotta listen to them. And maybe some of those calls are flowing in when you're 0-3, just kind of see what you know, big talk here. Jets, Vikings, Kirk Cousins, which I would something get done with Kirk Cousins because if we're gonna move him, let's move him. But yeah, we drop 0-4. I mean, just take the Vikings. Everybody's open for debate except for Jefferson, Addison, and probably a couple of your defensive studs. Outside of that, everybody's up for debate on moving. But hopefully we don't see that this week. Like Tim said, I think there's 4 0-3 teams. 2 of them play each other, so we're going to do some Steiner math here in that game. So if there's a 33% chance they both tie, there's a 66% chance of them winning, one of them winning. So if you do the Steiner math, you still got a 45% chance that nothing happens. I mean, and for all you wrestling fans, you guys get the joke. If not, you guys have to go check out YouTube and watch that because you guys will laugh at the Steiner math. So it's an inside wrestling joke for all you guys. So, Chris,
Yeah.
what's up with the Cowboys? How are they the first few weeks so far?
Started out really good, then we met the Cardinals, and it turned out to be really horrible.
The Cardinals are Cardinals are your kind of Yankees to my Twins. Just seem they can't beat them when they need to. So, but you guys are what are 2-1 right now? I mean, your face. You got to behind the Flying Eagles. Tim, you already kind of talked about your team, the Colts. First couple weeks. What do you like? What do you don't like?
I like it. The fact is we're 2-1 in a division that the Jags should be leading, but they lose to Houston because that again we go back to you hit on it with the Cardinals being the Cowboys kryptonite. It seems like Houston is the Jaguars kryptonite, and it seems. And it's funny because I think somebody posted in our chat that the Jaguars have been the Houston Texans' first win in 5 or 6 consecutive years at this point.
Wow.
But I'm happy to be 2-1 at this point with a rookie quarterback. The only problem is our quarterback doesn't know how to slide. I think we need to bring in Ronald Acuna to teach him how to slide. From the Braves, I get it. I love the heart the kid's got. I've been lucky enough to watch him over the last 3 years in Florida. Outside of that, I like what we got in Zach Moss. I really didn't expect Zach Moss to step up like he has. The defense has been one of the bright shining spots of this team. To lose that game to Jacksonville in week 1, we could have easily won that game. But I'm going to say it now. I think Indy's got the best backup quarterback in the league with Gardner Minshew.
Yep.
What he did and brought the team back against the Ravens last week is amazing. We get Anthony Richardson back this week for the Rams. I hope that they start Minshew instead, but that's not going to happen. I think the kid needs to sit a little bit. I'm excited. I'm excited if we go 2-2, but I'll be even more excited if we go 3-1.
You bring up your quarterback combination there. That's one thing I liked about Miami when they had Tua there. They had Fitzgerald starting or Tua starting. If he struggled, then they brought Fitzpatrick in. Not Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick. I said Fitzgerald earlier, but yeah, they had that swap, and I think that's good for Indy because you're getting the young kid a good chunk of the game, and if he plays good, you keep him. If not, all right, we got our relief pitcher. He's going to come in, close it out for us. So I think that's definitely good for Minnesota. You guys have seen me in the chats. These Viking fans here, some of the guys I know are just, oh, just wait. They're turning around. It's the, turnover. Yes, the turnovers are costly right now. I get it. But, last year, everybody was praising the team. It's like, look at how many games they won in the last second. Look at the game they should not won. I'm not going to say the team that it was against, but when you're down 30-something at halftime, you should not win that game. So the Vikings had a lot of luck last year. This year, the luck's going the opposite way, and we're seeing how not good this team is. And, somebody told me, oh, they're going to go 13-4. Do you want to bet on that? Because I will throw $100 right now saying the Vikings will not go 13-4. And it's a Viking fan. And trust me, I would love to be wrong. So if the Vikings end up going 13-4, I would be more than happy to pay $100. But the thing is you got Kansas City next week. I think we still have the Cowboys. The Vikings are not going 13-4. I'll say that right now. I keep throwing in the chat. Oh, they keep saying the team's better. They're not. Okay. Kirk Cousins is leading the league in most passing categories. Jefferson, yeah. Possibly right now your top 2 MVP vote getters because of the stats they're putting up, but the record shows for themselves. The defense is hanging in there. The offensive line is so, and that's one thing. It seems like the Vikings offensive line, when they give Kirk Cousins time to pass, Kirk Cousins doesn't know what to do with the ball because he's not used to that time. So we'll see what the Vikings do this week. I do have them winning, but it will not shock me if we end up losing because Carolina's a young team. They're hungry. They're going to start their young quarterback, and they actually got a pretty decent backup too. So we'll see what goes there for that team. So before I head out of here, Chris, what's the update on the game right now?
Falcons are on the board finally. I have to get the player's name, but the last name was London. How ironic is that? So now it's 17-7. Jaguars still leading third quarter, 11 and a half minutes.
All right. So last week, my big baller, I think I'm going to rename it to my spotlight player, I think. But this week I got one team and I actually got one game. And actually it's ironic because I want to see how Miami rebounds from last week's shellacking of 70 points that they put up. So I kind of want to watch them and see what they do. And also, we kind of mentioned it already, Denver and the Bears. I kind of want to see what team, because both teams got shellacked last week. Bears by Kansas City and the Broncos by Miami, I believe it was. So I kind of want to see how those two teams in that game respond. I mean, granted, it could be a 0-0 tie. It could be a 2-0 win. It could be, just a overall shootout. So, and then my final thing is before I leave and let you guys handle it, did anybody see J-Max post in our chat about teams that have won since have one win in their sport? Sorry, mess around, but yeah, your Bears are the only team not to win a professional game since last year, whatever.
Since Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Musk took over.
Yeah, that's what it was when Twitter was bought. So maybe Bears and fans need to have Elon Musk sell Twitter so they can win a game. So with that being said, guys, check you guys out later. Tim, we'll see you Wednesday. We got a great show planned for Rankum. So you guys have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Big B.
Yep.
So what do you think of Thursday night football between the Packers and the Lions?
I honestly thought that there was no question to me that the Lions were going to win that game. I didn't get a chance to watch much of it, but it seemed like every notification I was getting was a Lion this, Lion that, Lion this, Lion that. I'm like, holy smokes! But again, this is a team that's been beating Green Bay won the last 4 games in Green Bay against Green Bay.
Of those games was close.
And I don't know. I think the lines are. I think the lines are exactly where I think they were supposed to be.
I think the Lions finally have their head coach they've been looking for in a long time.
Yeah.
He's kind of an old school coach. I mean, he kind of brings new school with old school
Yeah.
in a way. He's not too soft, but he's firm enough to where they listen, I think.
I think it's because Dan Campbell played the game, and I think it's he's got the respect of the locker room because the locker room knows he played, he bled, he put the blood, sweat, and tears on the field just like they do every Sunday, every Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and he's got the respect for it. And he comes at them with the same intensity that he had when he played in the league, and then he comes in and gives them their same respect. And I think they appreciate it more when it comes to somebody who's been in the trenches, who's had the name and who's been on the roster, who's done the things that they're doing now. So I think they're more likely to go run through a wall for a guy who's been on the field than I think they do for all these other guys. Don't get me wrong, there's other great field general coaches like Belichick and the like, and Walsh and Andy Reid, even though Andy Reid was a 6'3", 12-year-old who could punt, pass, and kick that they keep showing on Monday Night Football.
I know, right? It's like, okay, we get the highlight. If you're a fan of Monday Night Football and the Chiefs and Andy Reid, we get it.
Yeah. So, but no, I like it, and and he talks just like a player talks as a coach, and I think he talks exactly like the city of Detroit. So yeah, Detroit's gonna love that guy. The city's gonna love him. Detroit fans are gonna love him. The players, obviously love him because they've been nothing but they've either they overachieve or they've actually hit the gear that they're supposed to be hitting. So I like Dan Campbell as a coach, and I think Detroit is looking pretty positive.
I think so, yeah. They've come a long way, and hopefully they continue that, that winning streak. 17-7 is still your score in the London game. As we get ready for our picks, I think we all picked Jaguars. I know you and Big B did. I picked Jaguars.
Yeah.
So far, it's looking that way, but still the third quarter. For the early afternoons, Ravens at the Browns. Divisional matchup.
I think I have to look at that going, and especially after the news dropped that no Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. Yeah. I don't remember who I took from that game. I don't know who I took it. Forgot who I took in that game because I got to take a look. Ooh, that might have to change.
Did you coin flip it?
No, that one no, because I figured that the Ravens were going to be on a downswing, and I don't even know who's the backup quarterback in Cleveland.
I don't know. I'll look that up.
But are we picking games? So I just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are.
God, I hate these last second changes on things. Good thing I didn't put money down on this game or I'd be in trouble. I'm still taking Cleveland. It's still a defense. I think last week the Ravens. I think the Colts showed pretty much everybody in the AFC North what you can do to beat the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. I think I saw a lot of stats last week that I think he's 30-some% when he's under pressure. Cleveland's got a defense that can do that. I think you're going to be relying a lot more on the run in Cleveland anyway. Zach Moss ran 100+ yards against the Ravens. So like I said, the blueprint's out there to beat the Ravens. And if the Browns paid attention to the game plan, I think to the film, I think the Browns can beat them just on the ground alone. So I got the Browns.
They're going to need that.
Yeah.
I'm going Ravens, and the Browns. The Browns' backup quarterback is Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Where's he from?
I'm like,
Where's that?
I was thinking the same thing. Like, who?
Holy
He
smokes. Dorian
is.
Thompson.
He was drafted this year in the 5th round.
Oh,
Pick
jeez.
140. He went to high school in Vegas. He attended UCLA.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, okay, then I know. I think I know the quarterback. Yeah, I think they'll be fine as long as they just. I think he just needs to. Yeah, go ahead. I don't know.
He was even 24-24 in college.
Yeah, there was a weak Pac-12.
Now it's probably even weaker after this
Yeah. Oh,
year.
yeah. So who's Big B got? I didn't even look.
He's got Cleveland.
Wonder how many of us are going to want to change
Maybe.
half this stuff after no Cleveland or no. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Oh, Brandon.
No Watson.
No, with no Watson. Yeah.
Next game we got Steelers and Texans.
Yeah, go ahead. I want you to pick.
Okay.
I want you to pick this game because I don't.
I'm going Steelers.
Yeah,
Even though Houston's been playing well, but
I was on the fence early when I was picking this because I usually pick these games on Thursday, to get ready for the Thursday night game. And my wife and stepdaughter pick games right along with me. And they're Italian women who know almost next to nothing about football, so it's kind of funny. But the funny thing is, right now that I've got the second best record in the house, and my wife, who barely knows what city the teams play in, is beating me by 3 games, is kind of a kick in the face. I think last week the Texans were a fluke. I think it was a fluke game. I kind of like the Steelers, but this is one of those games that could end up in a tie because I think they both they're both not that good, but the Texans are on the bigger rise because they've got God, man, I can't remember. They don't have CJ Stroud. Stroud's that midget's over in Carolina. Bryce Young. No, CJ Stroud's in Houston. Yeah, Stroud's in Houston. And then and the funny thing is CJ Stroud didn't play last week.
No.
And Stroud is playing this week.
I thought Stroud did. Bryce Young didn't play in Carolina.
Oh, that's what it was. It was Bryce Young. No, CJ Stroud played. You're right. CJ Stroud. No, I still have the Steelers. For some reason, I just don't like it's just a bad gut feeling.
I hear you. So you're going Steelers?
Yeah, I'm going Steelers. Big B's got the Texans.
Yep. Commanders and the Eagles.
This is okay. The Commanders have played everybody tough this year. That's between the Commanders and the Cardinals. They played everybody. They played everybody tough. But this is the Eagles we're talking about at this point. If they play the Eagles tough, that Eagles aren't a team to play down to their aren't a team to play down to their opponents. This is a team much like the Dolphins wouldn't be afraid to keep their foot on their throat. I've got the Eagles.
Yeah, I do too. Unfortunately, I mean, it's going to be a lose-lose anyway.
Right.
I hope the Commanders win it because right now Philly's in first. I think technically, well, I have to look, but I think technically we are if you look at the division now. But
and Big B's you got the Eagles. Big B's got the Eagles.
Yep.
Yep.
Should be an interesting game.
Should be.
Bengals and the Titans. Joe Burrow had a remarkable game last week on Monday Night Football. looked healthy. I think that was partly adrenaline and whatever medical treatment he had.
So go ahead. I'll let you give it that one all day.
All right, Big B picked the Bengals. I'm going Bengals as well.
I'm gonna make it a clean sweep at this point. I just don't know. The Titans defense just looks absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't understand it. They've got, it's almost like they rely too much on Derrick Henry.
They do, and I think he went downhill. I haven't seen much of him this
Yeah,
year.
I've got the Bengals too.
Yeah, I think that one's a clean sweep, kind of like the Eagles Commanders game. As we move on to Big B's Vikings and the Panthers, Big B picks the Vikings, hometown Vikings. Prime Moose, who you got?
I've got the Vikings. I actually like the Vikings. This is like Big B said when he was talking about his team last year. Last year, the Vikings won 11 games on one score games. You know, I don't know how many times. What was it? The Packers of the '90s would win games on one score games. How many times Indy's won games in the early 2000s on one score games. Football's not played with a round ball for a reason because the ball bounces in such weird ways, and this year it's just bouncing away from the Vikings. I still think you've got more. You have more experience. You got more veteran experience on the Vikings sidelines. I've got the Vikings, and I think it's going to be. It's not going to be as close as I think. I can't remember what the spread is on that, but I don't think it's going to be as close as the spread's saying. I think the spread has 3.5, but I don't think it's going to be that close. I think the Vikings make this look really, really sick to the Panthers. Sorry, Sarge, but I don't think it looks pretty.
I'm going with the Vikings too. I mean, Vikings have been up and down. Carolina's been up and down. I feel like this is going to be the Vikings game, I hope. I don't know. At least it's not prime time.
Yeah. I think that helps. I think it helps the Vikings out a little bit that they're not playing on Monday or Sunday night. So,
but I think they have the rule where at least every team has to play some kind of prime time, at least one prime time after that.
Indy doesn't play on prime time at all this year. They don't play Thursday. They don't play Sunday night. They don't play Monday. None.
Well, this year, I think all the primetime games can be.
They can be flexed.
Yeah, I know Monday and Sunday can.
Oh, I like my schedule because I want to be able to know I get a good time sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would too if I was over there. And speaking of your Colts, they're taking on the Rams. Who you got for that one?
We're dogs. We're home dogs by 1 point. I like this game. I think this game's going to be a fun game. I like I said earlier, we've got Anthony Richardson coming back. He cleared the concussion protocol, which in high school I wish I had a couple times. But it's going to be cool. It's going to be good because we're going to have DeForest Buckner. You're going to look at a defense in Indy against the defense that LA puts up, the Rams puts up. I want to see compared numbers between Aaron Donald and DeForest Buckner. I think it's going to be great. Mine was I want to see that kid Pakua or what his name is because he looks like he's a stud. You're looking at two really good rookie wide receivers, and Pakua for the Rams. That guy better be, his name is Pakua. The kid that was leading the league for a while there in receptions, and Josh Downs. This is going to be a good game. I honestly think this is one of the better games of the day. And so we're a 1 point dog, so basically we're a pick'em game. It's going to be fun. Last time we played the Rams, they ended up being the Super Bowl champions, at the end of the year, and we could have beat them. They pretty much have almost the same team. We don't, but this is going to be interesting. I like it. I've got the Colts.
Yeah, I got the Colts too. Rams have come back from games, but I don't see them as the same Rams we saw. What 2021? I think it was. I don't see that from them. I'm going with the Colts on that one. But Big B, he's kind of on the out. He's got Rams.
Yeah, we're going to have a conversation about that later.
Buccaneers and the Saints. Big B has Saints. Who you got?
I've got, and this is good. And the only reason why I say this now is because Tom Brady is no longer in Tampa or New England. I've got the Buccaneers. I noticed that somebody in our chat said that no, I was wrong. I was going to say Garoppolo's not playing, but Garoppolo plays for the Raiders.
Yeah.
I like the Buccaneers. I like the Buccaneers. What Baker Mayfield's doing is a little different. You got Jameis Winston starting in New Orleans.
No.
Yeah, no, Winston's not starting.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, Carr's going to start, even though he has a shoulder injury.
He's not going to. And my hot take of the day, he's not making it past the first half. Winston will be in playing by second half. Because we're still talking. I've got the Buccaneers. I do. I don't care if they're a dog in that game or not.
Yeah, I got Buccaneers too. I was gonna go with the Saints like yesterday because of Carr. I feel like he's probably of the two quarterbacks playing in this game, he's probably the top pick. But since he has that shoulder injury, I kind of like Baker Mayfield's chances in this game. I don't know. It's a hunch, but Broncos and the Bears. The worst game of the day or the best game of the day? Somebody's going to win this. Somebody's going to have their first win.
Yeah, somebody's O is going to go. Oh man, I'm doing this against my better judgment. I picked
Broncos.
I know. No, somebody's I'm thinking that this somebody's O is going to go. That means they're giving away a tie. No, I keep forgetting that the 0-3 game is the Panthers Vikings game. Oh my gosh. Well, how bad would you feel if you were a Denver Bronco? You just got beat 70-20 last week.
I'd be going to management. I'd be going to management and saying, I want out.
I want to trade. And they take a knee instead of going for the NFL record for points scored in a game. They take a knee. That's like an ultimate.
We'll give you mercy points.
We're gonna just an absolute slap in the face. No, it's just all kidding aside on that. I took the Bears first 2 weeks and going thinking, yeah, this team's a better team. Oh, and then Denver showed me something that I never thought I'd see. 70 in a non-Madden game. So this is so terrible. This is a terrible game, and I'm going to be. And the funny thing is, the Broncos are a 3-point favorite in Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've got the Bears.
You got the Bears.
I've got the Bears. I almost want to make this my lock. Forget it. Give me the Bears as a lock.
All right. I'm going. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm going with the Bears. I'm not making it my lock though, but I'm making it my pick. Big B picks the Broncos.
This could be 3-2. This game could easily be 3-2.
Oh, we're playing Canadian.
No, because of a safety.
Yeah.
Wow, that is such a terrible game. That really is.
It's a terrible game, but it's an interesting game to watch if you can.
Yeah, this could easily be they could be playing for the first pick in the draft at this point.
That's great. Yeah, week 4. This is the
Week 4 pick
draft game of the day.
draft game.
Yeah.
Nice.
We mentioned him earlier. Dolphins taking on the Bills. AFC East. Big B has the Bills. Who you got?
This is going to be the game of the year. I honestly think this is the game of the year. This got aspirations. This has aspirations of being an AFC Championship prelude. This is such a good game. I've got the Dolphins, but this is going to be a close game. I think Miami got all their scoring out last week because they know this game's going to be close. Yeah, this is going to be a close game. This is going to be separated by a field goal. I got the Dolphins, but it's going to be close.
I got the Bills, and I'll make it my lock. And Big B has the Bills. I know it's a tough choice, kind of like that Broncos-Bears game, except these are two really good teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Will there be 80 points?
No, I would put the over/under at like 45.
Yeah. I mean, they do score a lot.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Late afternoon game. No Jimmy G for the Raiders as they go up against the Chargers in LA. Big B has the Chargers. Who you got?
Yeah, no, like you said, no Jimmy G. We're talking about Justin Herbert. I haven't heard yet. Is Eckler playing or is he out? Like it makes a difference at this point.
Doubtful. I can look.
But I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Sometimes it was. No.
I don't think it's going to make a difference, especially what happened last week with the Chargers. Yeah, I got the Chargers. I think I got the Chargers. I think I got the Chargers big in this game. They're 6.5-point favorite at home. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those going away by the third quarter. They should be starting the Chargers should be starting second string in the fourth quarter. Should be, but then again, I said that about the Cardinals versus the Commanders and got proven completely wrong.
Yeah, I got the Chargers in that game. And you got Chargers?
Yep.
And Big B has the Chargers, so that one's a clean sweep. It looks like it's going to be a late game decision.
A late game.
I'm thinking.
Great. Good thing I don't have them on our fantasy football team.
Oh, no, that's for the Raiders, who they're going to start at quarterback.
Oh, that's going to be terrible. It's not Stedham.
I've heard. I don't know. I've heard different things. Like Raiders are going with the rookie. I can't remember who he is, but you have a rookie quarterback.
Right.
So
according to this,
everything's up in the air.
It looks like they're going to start Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah, so rough time to start.
Yeah,
rough time to.
I think
rough time to start go up against Nick Bosa. Nice job, bud. Have fun with that.
Good luck. Cardinals and the 49ers. BB has 49ers. I think this is going to be a clean sweep too.
Yeah. Who do you got, Chief?
I got 49ers.
Yeah. This is not even going to be. This isn't going to be pretty. I've got the 49ers. But then again, the Cardinals play everybody tough. Look what they did to the Cowboys last week. You can't sleep on the Cardinals.
No,
Um,
I think it's going to
yeah,
be a close game.
I think it's going to be a 10-point game. I think, but I look at it as being. I think it's going to be a 10-point game. I still have the Niners, but I think it's the Niners beat them by 10 because again, Cardinals will be playing everybody tough.
They do. Debo Samuel is expected to play versus Cardinals. So if you have him in your fantasy, I don't, but if you did, he's starting.
Yeah, I don't have him.
I don't either.
Well, I know. I play you this week. I know.
Patriots and the Cowboys. A
This
coming home event for Zeke. Big B has Cowboys.
Yeah. Go ahead. This is.
I got Dallas.
Yeah.
But I've been going back and forth on it because I feel like it could be a distraction. But I still have the Cowboys.
Yeah, I've got the Cowboys. I don't even. They got the Cowboys. I almost at this point think the Cowboys feel embarrassed that they lost to the Cardinals. Again, not taking anything with what the Cardinals did and what they've been doing this season, but it's still. Anytime I get a chance to rub Bill Belichick's noses in a puddle of water, in a mud puddle and a puddle of water, I'm going to do it. Without a question, I've got the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think everybody does too. That's it for the late afternoon games. And I think it's very representative that this game's in prime time. Chiefs and the Jets. Big B has Chiefs. Who do you got?
Oh, is Taylor Swift going to be in the Jets in the Jets boxes?
Yes.
Good
Yes.
Lord. That was a media circus. I woke up the next day. Oh yeah, she was in the. Oh, crying out loud!
And then everybody's doing the videos where they're like, "Hey, so they're just a guy named Travis Kelce. He's supposed to be some kind of important football player, but Taylor Swift's going to be there."
Exactly. It's just so. I don't know. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, that's a bigger media circus than this football game is. That's how weird it is. It would have been a bigger game if Aaron Rodgers was healthy, but at this point, this is the Chiefs again. I get it's the Jets defense, but the Chiefs have way too many weapons against that defense. Yeah, I think we have a clean sweep on this one too. I think I've got Kansas City.
I do too, regardless if Taylor Swift was there or not. But I don't think we got that much attention here in Dallas when Romo was dating Carrie Underwood.
Yeah. I think you got more attention when wasn't he dating like Jessica Simpson for a bit too?
I think so, yeah. I think
you got more out of Jessica Simpson than you did out of Carrie Underwood. That's and not saying much considering at this point the only way you get more is if Brock Purdy starts dating Lady Gaga at this point.
Probably. Monday Night Football. We're going back to MetLife Stadium. This time the Seahawks are going up against the Giants.
All right, my big question of this game.
Taylor Swift's not going to be there.
No, that's fine. That's cool. I'm okay with that. My question is, Sunday Night Football, they're going to have the Jets. I want to know, this is the big question. Big B asked us the big question about 0-3 teams. The bigger question is, will the Jets name and logo still be the Jets name still be in the end zone when the Giants are playing on Monday night?
No,
because
they did this in week 1.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I had to ask, and I didn't watch the week 1 games. I didn't watch the games.
Yeah, the Giants had Sunday night, and then Jets had Monday night.
Okay. I had to ask, because they need to save money because they're paying for Aaron Rodgers' contract now that he's in California, sitting rehab and using his echinacea or whatever he's doing. Whatever he's using.
Right.
I made the mistake of watching Pat McAfee the other day. I'm going, boy, he's arrogant, isn't he?
Who, Pat?
No, not Pat. Pat's a Colt. Pat will never be arrogant. I don't care if he was if he didn't announce for the WWE and got in a ring with Austin Theory and the chairman Vince McMahon. Still the best best WrestleMania I've seen in a long time. Not Pat. I like Pat's attitude. Pat's a punter who can kill a guy on a return.
We should try to get him on here one day. That'd be cool.
We should. No, Aaron Rodgers. Golly, Aaron Rodgers is just an arrogant bastard. That right there, that little soundbite might get Aaron Rodgers and Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk on this show. We should tag them later. Outside of that, I still think the Giants aren't that great of a team. The Seattle Seahawks are. I thought there was going to be a letdown after last season with Geno Smith, but I'm again pleasantly surprised it's not. I've got the Seahawks.
I do too. Giants are they're not good.
They're bad.
Seahawks are okay. They're better than Giants.
But that goes without saying.
Jaguars scored 20-7
Did they?
now.
Well, that game's over.
Pretty much. As we close out the picks, do what you want with them. Don't take our advice or take our advice. I don't know.
Yeah, don't go to Las Vegas. Don't go to Las Vegas. We could lose you thousands of dollars.
Right. We're just doing it for the fun of it. We have no knowledge. So we head into your prime. What's the topic?
Well, Brandon I mentioned it earlier. We kind of mentioned it earlier. Brandon thought it would be nice in his one tough question about 0-3 teams, and it's almost like they're almost like they have no hope. Well, I found out that there have been teams that have made the playoffs after being 0-3.
How many?
5. Actually, take that back. 6, but I'm not counting the strikes shortened season. So 5. So there's been 5.
Team in the strike year.
The St. Louis Cardinals. They were 5 and
honorable mention.
They were 5 and 6. They can be honorable mention. All right, so my number 5 is the 1998 Buffalo Bills. You're going to start thinking I kind of tailored this after some of your teams, but that just kind of happened by accident. It just happened. The 98 Buffalo Bills were 10 and 6 after starting 0-3. They were third in the AFC East. They were the fifth seed in the playoffs. They didn't make it out of the wild card round. They lost to the number 4 seed, who was the second seed, who was second in the AFC East, the number 4 seed Miami Dolphins, they ended up losing that game 24-17. Miami ended up losing the next game to the Denver Broncos, who ended up winning Super Bowl 33 against the Atlanta Falcons in 34-19. We all know that game, though. But that was the Dirty Bird. That's the Dirty Bird game. And if Brandon was on, Big B was on, he would be upset because it happened to be the reason why the Falcons are in the Super Bowl is because their kicker who kicked perfect throughout the whole game, the whole season, misses a field goal in overtime.
Oh,
so we don't talk about that. Brandon doesn't talk about that. That's kind of a sore subject.
Yeah, I remember that.
My number 4 team was the 1995. The 1995 Detroit Lions were 10 and 6. They were second in the NFC Central behind the Green Bay Packers. They were the 5 seed in the playoffs. Funny thing is, I heard more about this game yesterday because I listened to a podcast with James Petrogallo and Jimmy Wisman called Crime and Sports. It was about Bill Romanowski. So I kind of know a little bit more about this game. But the Detroit Lions, 95 Detroit Lions, lost to the 4-seed Philadelphia Eagles. The reason why, because Bill Romanowski played for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles beat them 58-37. Philly ended up losing to the Dallas Cowboys the following week, 31-11. And then the Cowboys beat Green Bay. And, well, as you should know, Dallas wins Super Bowl 30 over the Pittsburgh Steelers, 27-17. Number 3. Why am I having – this is awesome. Hold on. We're good. I'm just – okay. The number 3 team is the 1981 New York Jets. They were second. They were second in the AFC East, which was funny because the AFC East put in 3 teams from the East. It was the Dolphins were the 2 seed. Then it was the Buffalo Bills. It was the Jets. Then the Bills. The Jets lost in the wild card round to the Buffalo Bills, 31-27. Buffalo turned around and lost to the number 1 seed Cincinnati Bengals. And then Cincinnati loses to San Francisco 26-21. But the funny thing is everybody remembers the game that happened before the AFC Championship game because that was the Cincinnati-San Diego game. The game before was the Miami Dolphins versus the San Diego Chargers, where it was that everybody remembers the picture of Kellen Winslow basically being helped off the field because of that triple overtime game, or that long excuse of a game because it was so long. And the funny thing is they played that game in Miami and then they turned around and played a game that was like 3 degrees below zero in Cincinnati.
Right.
The Chargers did. And it just happened to be, it was just really weird. The number two team just happened 5 years ago. So it's possible to do it in modern time. It's the 2018 Houston Texans. This is Deshaun. It was 2018. It was I think it was Deshaun Watson, Arian Foster, Andre Johnson, JJ Watt, that big team. That's the one that had the coach now, the Bill O'Brien, the offensive coordinator in New England. He was the head coach then. Houston won their division at 11-5, starting 0-3. They were the 3rd seed in the playoffs and turned around and lost to the 6th seed Indianapolis Colts in 21-7. Indy proceeded to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs in the following round. The Chiefs lose to the New England Patriots, and then, as we all know, New England beat the Jared Goff awful Los Angeles Rams 13-3 in Super Bowl 53. So, but it can be done. Anybody who's 0-3 can still have hope. Problem is, that's the worst thing you give somebody is hope.
Yeah.
And the number 1 team.
What was that movie again?
Huh?
I was going to say, so you're saying?
They're saying there's a chance. Well, the number 1 team, the number 1 team was the San Diego Chargers. 92 San Diego Chargers. They went 11-5. This is the one before they got the season before they had Drew Brees and LaDainian Tomlinson. It was 2 years before because they had Stan Humphries as their quarterback, which makes it really weird when you realize they went 11-5 and they started the season off 0-3. They won the division. They were the 3 seed in the playoffs. Beat the 6th seed Kansas City Chiefs 7-0. Then turned around and lost to the 2 seed Miami Dolphins 31-0. Miami went on to lose to the Buffalo Bills, and I don't need to tell you to tell you what happened to the Buffalo Bills, because if you're a Cowboys fan, you kind of know this one a little too much.
Right.
The Buffalo Bills went on to lose Super Bowl 27 to the Dallas Cowboys 52-17. Yeah, two of your teams are on this list. I don't ever want to hear. I don't put anybody your team on my list. I'm messing, but but it can be done. Just so you fans of
we put a
0-3
team that hasn't been mentioned.
Huh? The Bears not on that list. The Vikings aren't on
We'll
the
put
list.
your team on there eventually.
Yeah, eventually they'll get on there.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, but it can be done. 0-3, you can make the playoffs and win your division at 0-3. So you got to hope, as Lloyd Christmas said in Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance? Yes, there is.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good list. We'll see if it comes true for one of these teams today.
Yeah.
As far as the team that is struggling, the Falcons, still going on about 6 minutes to go, but I think it's pretty much over. 20-7 is the score. I think we can kind of put it in the books as game over.
Yeah. Usually at about that time. You can. How much time is left? I'm not lucky enough to see the. It can be done. Again, saying there's a chance. But, anything's possible. I don't know. It's tough. It's the Jaguars defense. Oh, and I know we didn't touch on it, but Hamlin's active today. Hamlin's active today.
9 months and a day short, or you can say 8 months and a day short.
Yep.
9 months, which is pretty incredible. Falcons almost had a touchdown, but they only got 1 foot down.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm happy for Hamlin. I think they said they're going to put him mostly in special teams. I think just to get him back in the swing of things and back in football shape, even if he's had time to be in football shape, but just back in the rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. You got to get back in that game rhythm, because I think they held him out of the preseason. Because I completely agree with that. I think you don't start putting people in, especially after something like that, until they matter. There's nothing wrong with holding them back 3 games, 4 games. I think they did the right thing. I think Buffalo was really heads up on that. I think I would think that he's going to be on a pitch count. I think just to see how he is for game action, then you start ramping it up. I think these next 3 games are going to be his preseason. But I'm overjoyed as I think everybody in the that are fans of the NFL and the NFL family and team in the teams, front offices, former players, prospective players. I think everybody is absolutely happy to see Hamlin's going to be active today. I think that's going to be. I think, and that game is in Buffalo.
Yes.
If it's in Buffalo, that place is the pop that comes in that is going to happen in Buffalo is going to be huge. It's going to be an amazing sound. And if Buffalo was smart, they would do introductions, and I think he leads them out. I think that should be the right way to play it.
I agree. It should. Now they do travel to London next week. Think he'll play there?
Oh yeah, I think he will. I think he plays a third more than he will this week. I think he's gonna. Like I said, this is going to be preseason for him. For these next 3 games are going to be preseason for him. I think you have to keep a close eye on him and monitor him because we are talking about a catastrophic event that he had, and to do it on prime time on live TV. That's a tough thing to come through. I know he said that he thinks about it, but he can't think about it. He shouldn't be thinking about it.
He should.
Being a former player, I've never come back from something like that. He gets that first hit in him. He lays a shoulder pad into somebody. Those butterflies will be gone. I think he's going to be rocking full speed real quick.
A couple of players have been off of suspension for their gambling issues.
Yeah,
and they've changed rules.
Yeah, they changed the rules. Really weird.
It is weird. I think some of them shouldn't be like it is, but
right.
What do you think?
I think this is terrible. To me, the problem was that was how a couple players lost a full season back in the 60s because Alex Karras and Paul Hornung both lost the season because they were gambling. Which is kind of hypocritical when you see that Pete Rose isn't in the Hall of Fame because he was gambling. And yet Karras, the defensive lineman, and Paul Hornung are both in the Hall of Fame. It's hilarious. It's gambling, but then again, you have to. Are they? I don't understand it. Are they gambling because technically fantasy football can be considered gambling?
Yeah, but I don't think they count that.
But, huh?
I don't think they count that.
But they're counting on football games. Are they counting on those guys making bets on baseball, basketball, and hockey?
I believe so. Oh, let me see if I can't pull up the rules. But then you have like the NFL going, this game is brought to you by FanDuel.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, and it's when you have a sponsor like FanDuel and MGM Grand who sponsor your games, you're kind of hypocritical. You're saying, well, you can do, everybody else can do it, but you can't. Oh, but we're sponsored by these. So, what they do with their money is different. If they bet on their own game, yeah, that's a huge difference. That's a no-no territory. But if you're betting, say you want to bet, say you're playing for you're playing for the Cowboys and you want to bet for the Cowboys, yeah, that's a no-no. But if you want to bet on my Colts, go for it all day long. I don't care. You should be able to. You're taking money from the gambling places. Why cannot what those guys do with their money outside of on their time is what they should be able to do. And the thing is, they're going to do it anyway. They just hide it better.
Right. So as far as betting on non-NFL sports in the workplace will now lead to this discipline. First violation is a 2-game suspension without pay. Second violation, a 6-game suspension without pay. And a third violation is suspension without pay for at least a year.
I don't know. It's hypocritical. It to me, it's hypocritical.
I think something about, I forget what it was, but if you
betting on your own game was like a year.
Yeah. Well, I thought something about like a lifetime.
I think that's the third after you bet on your own. If you bet on your own team, I think it's a third on betting on your own team.
Oh, okay.
But my personally, and I'm a gambler. I've never bet on my own team because I played high school and I didn't have the money to bet in high school and semi-pro. I am a gambler, but there's ways. There's ways everybody can do it. Believe me. Heck, Pete Rose used to bet on his own team. granted, he didn't get away with it, but he's been doing it for years, well before he got caught, and he was talking to people outside of the. So it's a bit hypocritical on the NFL side. You're taking money from the gambling places, but you don't want your players to do it.
Right, you don't. But I think with that, I don't think there's anything else unless there's anything else you want to bring up.
No, I've seen nothing that I've seen.
Me either, except for that Team Europe has won the Ryder Cup.
Oh, well, kind of home country because it was played in Italy. It was played in Rome, which I'm not going to see when I go to Rome in 2 weeks. I'm not gonna see the golf course.
You're gonna go USA.
I'm never going to be able to go to Rome again.
With that, final thoughts.
Excited. I'm excited. I'm excited on 2 games. I'm excited on the Vikings Panthers game. 3 games actually. The Vikings Panthers game, the Bears Broncos game, just to see if we're going to have 1 or 2 teams with one win, with one brand new win. But then again, I'm really looking forward to that Buffalo Miami game. See if Miami could put up a whooping like they did against Denver. I don't expect it. But like Big B said, we got a big show Wednesday. We had a bunch of stuff come up last week. Big show. We're doing a special date for our man here, Crispy, because his birthday was on September 20th. So we're gonna one of our categories is for Crispy himself, the professor of bacon. But other than that, I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be a great show. I'll have to watch and comment on that one if I have time. Thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. 4 Bros tomorrow. And then you got Between the Ropes Tuesday. A lot of great shows coming this week, so tune in for those, and we'll see you guys next week for another morning tailgate. Enjoy your football Sunday and Monday, and we'll be back next week. Have a great week.